In the kingdom of Koguji, where emerald forests whispered secrets and misty valleys cradled ancient mysteries, there reigned a queen whose name sent shivers down the spines of her subjects. Queen Kadashi, known far and wide as the wicked fat queen, held dominion over her realm with an iron fist and a heart blacker than the deepest abyss. Her castle, a towering stronghold of stone and shadow, loomed over the land like a dangerous valley, casting a gloom of fear and despair upon all who dared to cross its threshold. Within its walls, Queen Kadashi plotted her dark deeds, her twisted desires driving her to ever greater acts of brutality. But it was not only within the walls of her castle that the queen's evil was felt. Throughout the kingdom, whispers of her wicked deeds spread like wildfire, tales of villages laid to waste, crops withered, and livestock struck down by mysterious ailments. None were free from her wrath, and none dared to challenge her rule for fear of the terrible consequences that would surely follow. Among the villages that felt the sting of the queen's oppression was Kokoli, a small village located deep in the heart of the forest. The villagers lived simple lives. They spent their spent toiling in the fields and tending their scanty flocks. But despite their humble existence, they are stone-hearted, with stubborn refusal to bow before the queen's oppressive government. It was in Kokoli that our tale truly begins, amidst the gentle sound of leaves and the soft buzz of the nearby stream. Here, in this unlikely haven of resistance, a young boy named David emerged as an unexpected hero. David was not like the other boys of Kokoli. While they spent their days playing in the fields or fishing in the stream, he could often be found lost in thought, his heart with worry as he pondered on the plight of his people. Despite his tender age, David possessed a wisdom beyond his age, a keen insight into the ways of the world that set him apart from his peers. It was this keen insight that led David to uncover the truth behind the queen's reign of terror. Through careful observation and clever conclusion, he patched together the mystery of her dark power, unraveling the threads of deception that covered her true intentions. With each revelation, David's resolve grew stronger, his determination to free his village from the queen's grip burning bright within him. And so, armed with nothing but his intellect and his courage, he set out on a quest to confront the queen and put an end to her reign of terror once and for all. The road to the queen's castle was long and perilous, nervous with danger at every turn. But David pressed on, his heart aflame with righteous anger, his mind sharp with determination. Along the way, he encountered many trials and tribulations, facing down beasts and bandits alike with unwavering conclusion. Finally, after days of travel, David arrived at the gates of the queen's castle, his pulse racing with anticipation. With a deep breath, he steeled himself for the challenge that lay ahead and stepped forward into the lion's den. Inside the castle, David found himself in a world of shadows and whispers, where every step seemed to echo with the weight of centuries of cruelty. But undiscouraged, he pressed on, his senses were alert for any sign of danger. As he ventured deeper into the heart of the castle, David encountered the queen's subordinates, twisted creatures born of her darkest desires. But with each confrontation, he proved himself stronger, his spirit undimmed by fear or doubt. At last, David reached the throne room, where Queen Kadashi sat upon her throne of ebony and gold, her eyes gleaming with malice. With a flick of her wrist, she summoned forth dark energies to smite the intruder who dared to challenge her rule. But David stood firm, his gaze steady as he spoke words of truth and righteousness. In the face of her wickedness, he remained steadfast in his conviction that love and compassion would always triumph over hatred and fear. Furious by his boldness, Queen Kadashi unleashed her full power upon David, seeking to crush him beneath the weight of her wrath. But to her astonishment, she found herself unable to harm David, her curses falling harmlessly against the shield of his faith. Realizing that she had met her match, Queen Kadashi recoiled in horror, her heart consumed by the darkness she had wrought upon the world. In that moment of clarity, she saw the error of her ways and begged for forgiveness, vowing to repent for her sins and atone for the suffering she had caused. With compassion in his heart, David extended a hand of mercy to the fallen queen, offering her the chance to redeem herself and embrace the light once more. And as she took his hand, a great warmth washed over her, purging the darkness from her soul and filling her with a newfound sense of hope and purpose. From that day forth, Queen Kadashi ruled with compassion and fairness, using her authority not to oppress others, but to uplift and empower them. And though the scars of her past atrocities would never fully heal, she dedicated herself to building a brighter future for all who lived in Koguji. As for David, he returned to Kokoli as a hero, his bravery and selflessness celebrated by all who knew him. And though his journey had been fraught with danger and uncertainty, he knew that it was worth it, for he had helped to bring about a world where goodness and light reigned supreme, and where even the darkest of hearts could find redemption. The tale of the wicked fat queen and the young hero David teaches us a profound moral lesson, that even in the darkest of times, the light of compassion and courage can overcome the most formidable of obstacles. Through David's unwavering belief in the power of God and righteousness, he was able to confront the queen's evil and ultimately bring about her redemption. His journey serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how terrible the circumstances may seem, there is always hope for change and transformation. Furthermore, the story highlights the importance of empathy and understanding in overcoming conflict and adversity. By extending a hand of mercy to Queen Morgana, David did not only save her from her own darkness but also paved the way for a brighter future for all who dwelled in the kingdom of Koguji. Finally, the moral of this tale is that even the most seemingly irredeemable of souls can find redemption through acts of kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. And it is through these virtues that we can truly create a world where love and light prevail over hatred and darkness.
Subscribe to my channel.